might have to lift your iPad up. I'm gonna put this cape on you so that way the hair don't get all over you. Okay, what is it?
0, 1. Let's get started.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Braids by Ricky. And today we are here with our day in the life as a braider, the second episode. So if you guys seen the first episode, I want to say welcome back. But if you guys are new here, check out that video, okay? And if you don't feel like it yet, I completely understand. But right now, you guys are watching the second episode, and this one is a true gem, okay? So this gentleman that you're seeing right here in this seat, he is one of my most problematic clients. He doesn't come that often because he is extremely, extremely tender-headed, okay? This poor baby. He has a head full of hair, but his hair is so his ends are tangled up. They're dead ends, and I don't know why. His mama haven't trimmed those ends yet. I wish I could, but she got to do that part because I can guarantee you, if I was to so happen to cut off a strand of this boy's hair, she will notice, okay? But I know that the style, the process to giving him the style would move by so smoothly if he did get a trim, but it's all good. It's all good. We make do with what we have. So prior to this, I did go in and I did twist up his hair because I detangled it as much as I could. It doesn't matter what you do. You shampoo, condition his hair, blow dry it. It'll be tangled, especially because he had split ends throughout his entire strands of hair, like the full shaft. So I just went ahead and I sectioned off his hair, but you guys are going to see me do a process we like to call pre-parting. Now, I tried it just to see. And I'm using the neat braids instead of the BLT for him. The last time I used BLT, it was too heavy, and his curl pattern is a bit different than my daughter's. My daughter, well, a bit different, a lot different. It's curly, yes it is, but he has a different type of curl. He has many different types of curls across his head because he is a mixed kid. So he has a loose pattern in some areas and a tighter curl in others. Mostly in the middle of his head is where the tight pattern is. He also has a scalp condition, and so it makes every little thing that I do trouble, okay? It makes everything. If I pick up a strand of hair to braid it, just to start out the cornrow, he flips out. He did this thing where he'll pull. I don't know, do y'all have people like that? I got people who you braiding their hair and they'll pull away from you because they're in pain. I'm like, dang, you making me mess up. And it's only but so many times that I'm going to take out a braid and redo a braid. I'm not going to keep doing this all day with you. So I did do my best to get the parts as neat as possible, but it was really, really hard, okay? And it seems like his left side is the most problematic side for him. And so, you know, I tried to go as slow as possible. You see me parting little bitty pieces. I'm getting the parting as neat as possible. Trying not to repart it, but just clean it up a bit. And yeah, he doesn't have much of a moving scalp. It's just that his scalp is very dry, especially in different areas. It's just really dry. And it doesn't matter what you do for him. It'll be dry because he has the scalp condition. So I advise for his mom to use some type of shampoo that'll help get that layer off. Um, I know in previous years I've witnessed people who have had the same condition and they would use T-gel shampoos and stuff like that. I can't tell you exactly what to use, but I can recommend, kind of give you a few things that I've seen work for others in the past years. If there's no allergies involved, if his skin doesn't act up, then he's free to use it. So, you guys are witnessing now. Sorry about that. Alright, and the gentleman that you see walking around the background is my son. He wanted to hang out in here, but he's just been playing this game the whole time. So, You know, you might see him pace the floor a lot. That's my oldest. And I told him like he had to just chill out because he just was like, you know, when you getting your hair braided, you don't want nobody walking around you, talking to you, touching you. It was one of those situations. So I had to let him know, like, chill, you know, just chill out. So he went over there in the corner, you know, and kept going. But yep. So you're just seeing me get the part down the middle. So this is what I planned on doing. He said he wanted the yurps. Yeah, so I just said, we're gonna do some cornrows going down into the sides and all of that good stuff, but I want to try something with you today. And the whole way through, all he felt was me parting his hair, and he was so annoyed at how long it took me to pre-part his hair. But I'm telling y'all, it was a struggle, okay? This kid fights you. It's no just getting through it. So I did about maybe about 7 braids in the back for him. So he was able to have, you know, the cornrows in the back and the split down the middle with the cornrows going down to the side. So, but I've had to put a lot of effort into getting the hair detangled. And it didn't matter how many times I combed it. It just still kept tangling up because the ends need to be clipped. And I'm scared to clip it. I mean, I'm not scared to clip his hair. I'm not scared to cut hair. Okay, let's be clear. I'm not scared to cut anyone's hair. But I don't want to cut off too much because I know how much needs to come off of this kid's hair. And I don't want to cut off too much and his mama gets mad at me because, you know, she notices everything about her child. And what mother wouldn't? She's very attentive to her kid, so, and it's her only baby, so she's very, very attentive to him. Now here I'm just molding the cornrow, the areas down. So this is one cornrow, that's another. I'm just molding down the areas where I put the neat braids styling. I'm conditioning gel. Wherever I put that conditioning gel, I just molded it down, just to kind of get the parts prepared. The area is prepared for the stitches. Now, for this braid, I believe I did go down the middle and made a part within that section and made sure that the braid was fully saturated with the conditioning gel. But on other areas of his head, I did not do that. You know, it just got very frustrating trying to braid someone's hair who constantly moves, and that's why, like, I know that I'm not going to service anyone under the age of 4, but if you have a scalp condition, I would ask that you would treat that condition and try to make it as easy as possible on the person that's styling your hair. That means that if the doctor says that you have this condition and this is the shampoo or this is the topical cream that you have to use to kind of minimize the irritation on your scalp, do that for about 2 weeks to a month, and then come to me or come to anyone with the problem kind of controlled rather than coming with a full irritated scalp where it's hard for me to part or anything, because this process took so long, y'all. Now you guys are seeing me start the braid. I did go through and only pre-part the back of his head, and the area in the front I did not pre-part. I probably should have, but I didn't because it was really, everything I did on his head was a complicated task, you know. And so you guys are seeing me do the stitch. Now, this is my first time ever doing stitch braids, and usually I would not tell you guys if it's my first time. Don't go nowhere telling nobody it's your first time. Okay. Here I used the comb. Eventually, I switched over to the parting / stitch tool that goes, it's like a little ring that goes in your fingers. And actually, I found that I liked it more. Yeah, I like it more. And so when I do his mom's hair, I think I'm going to use the braiding tool rather than the comb for that. I definitely liked it way more. I think if I used that throughout his head, the stitches would have probably came out a bit more uniform, and just clean, you know, just cleaner. And, you know, I can say what I could have done. But now that I've done it, I kind of know what I need to do. And so when I do his mom's hair, I know she said she wanted also some cornrows. And so what I'm going to do for her is the same. I'm going to go in and use that tool for her. I do have a few packs of braiding hair here that I can bless her with. But I'm thinking that she should probably get her own because I don't want to put this hair in her head. And I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like how the jumbo braid hair actually feels on my fingers. It makes my fingers burn. And so I prefer to use some expression hair, softer, more, the texture is prettier in my opinion. I think it depends on which style you're doing. So I'm gonna probably let her use this hair just so that way she can just get it done. Because I have to clean it. We have people in this world who have allergies to the coating on braiding hair, and I'm one of those people. And so I cleanse all the braiding hair that I use on clients, especially if they tell me that they have an irritation to it. I don't want any reason why they have to take their braids out early. If you like your hair, I want you to be able to have your hair in for the time that it's supposed to be in. So I try my best to encourage clients to allow me to provide the hair, and this is why it's important to have a deposit slash a retainer fee, because you're not going to get it back. It's non-refundable. This is for purposes of travel, purposes of me providing you with the product, the hair, right? And also to secure your spot and ensure that, hey, you spent your money, you're going to come, or you're gonna be ready for when I arrive, right? So yeah, I try my best to cleanse the hair because I also have an allergy to the alkaline coating on braiding hair, and it's bad. I mean, my forehead will swell, my eyes will swell, I have bumps everywhere. So cleanse your hair, people. Cleanse your hair. But this hurt him. Everything hurt him. I'm just molding it down, combing the gel through a bit. Everything hurts the baby. Everything. But it came out great. I mean, I feel like if he comes to me more often and gets his hair braided, then, he'll get used to it. And also, if she gets that patch controlled, and it keeps his hair oiled with something that will just, help the condition, then he would be fine. But his hair is dry. His scalp is dry. His ends are ratted and tatted and like they just been chewed out, spit out. So like this right here, me doing this part, it hurts him. I had to give him tissue and everything, y'all. It hurts. Yeah, I feel for the kid. I feel for him because to sit in a chair, get your hair done, and then, it's just painful. The end result will look nice. You'll look better than what you came as, but for your hair to hurt, for your head to hurt through styling, it's like, when will it ever end? And you'll move around and you'll try to avoid getting it done. I even given him a break. But when I came back, nothing's changed. So I had to give him some tissue because he did start to cry a little bit. I wasn't hurting him. I wasn't hurting him purposely. I was trying to just do my job, and that's just braiding his hair. But it hurt him because of his condition. But now his mom can get to his scalp. His hair won't be tangled up in a ponytail because his grain of hair locks very easily. I had to cut off his locks at least twice, and I'm not saying locks as in he purposely got locks. I mean like his hair has a braid in, and he'll sweat. He would get in the shower, and his hair would get drenched in water, and his curls will lock up, and it would be one singular lock. Yeah. His hair at the roots will mat down to his scalp. That's how serious it is. So his hair has to be braided into a style to prevent tangle. And so what I'm going to do his next visit is prioritize things like conditioning, as well as prioritizing his ends health. I'm going to focus on looking at those as well, making sure that she's doing as I am instructing. If I tell her to go get the ends trim from the ends, if I tell her to go in and go get some tea gel or something like that, some type of shampoo, some type of shampoo that will help him. I need her to do that, so that way when he comes back and I do another analysis on his scalp and I comb the combs through his hair or brush his hair, I want to see the results. Yeah, I think that's going to be my little science experiment at this point. Is seeing how we can make, you see that? I want to see how we can make this braiding experience such a better experience for him. Because I felt so bad having to give him a roll of tissue for him to cry on because it hurts him. I'm not hurting him purposely, like I said. It's just, when you guys have conditions of the scalp, you have to get it treated by a doctor. And you have to be consistent with the treatment, right? You have to stay consistent. And this is a prime example. So, he came in one way, he left out looking much better. He's going to school looking clean, and his hair all nice and dapper, but, he went through some stuff to get it that way. And so I told him, I do appreciate you coming and allowing me to do your hair, because it's not easy to know that something's going to hurt you and you still have bravery and sit there through it. And, I'm very proud of him. I'm very, very proud of him. So, yeah, I think this is right here was like the last one. I think I worked on this side last on both portions, in the back and the front, because his left side is the side that has the condition the most, where it's like a really bad flare-up. So I told him, I said, we're going to do the side that hurts you the most first. Get it out of the way. And then we're going to go over to the other side. We're going to knock that side out. So he had no lifting of his scalp because I didn't do it tight, okay? It might look a little tight because the hair is molded down, but I didn't do it tight. And I told him to bend his head down when I got down to his nape area. If you guys don't want the hair to pull while they're doing all types of motions, put them in that position prior. Tell the client to lay their hair down, lean to the side downwards, so that way you can get the braid and it wouldn't hurt when they're done. And I also had him hold this area, so that way, the tension wouldn't be so bad for me braiding down his hair. But his hair kept buckling as I braided because the ends are just going through some things. So it's okay. We made it work. And eventually, when he realized it wouldn't hurt anymore, he did let go of the braid. But I don't think I showed you guys me braiding the front of his hair, and that might suck for me. I think I might have, but I'm not entirely sure. I think I did though. I think I only got like a clip of the front, but my son is there tripping. He's growing his hair out too, and he has some thick hair, and it's confusing with his hair because he has straight ends around the perimeter of his head, like his hair is straight, but at the top it's really curly. It's not really a lot of straight hair. There we are. We're at the top. We finally made it on the other side because I finished that other side that hurt the most first. I try not to touch his edges too much. He has some baby hairs there that I know she would have flipped out about if I got it up in there. So I left his sideburn and his edges, like his baby hair edges, out. But he's not a girl, and I wasn't about to do no swoop loops and dupes in his hair, so I put most of them away to protect them. So yeah, and I didn't braid it tight. Remember, I had to mold the sections down, so it's not super duper tight. It just looks tight, but it's not tight. There's no lifting of his scalp. There was no red irritation, and hopefully he sleeps on it properly and not lift the braids up or do some weird stuff where it causes irritation bumps. But I watched after him for about like maybe 30 to an hour after I finished, and he had no irritation. So he did such a good job. I'm super proud of him. And You know, he looks a little cranky. You know, he just sat through all of that, but he'll be all right. He will be just fine. Yeah. So I'm actually having a moment. I'm sitting in the room that I actually braided his hair in, and I just feel like it needs more work. Yeah, I feel like it needs more work. Definitely. Oh no, it's a fact. It needs more work. But I did not stick at the job that I was at because I just couldn't do it anymore. Like they were just playing with my time. So I went ahead and I decided to just leave and go full throttle at braiding hair. So if you guys do want me to braid your hair and you live in the Maryland area, please let me know in the comments down below and I would send you guys a link or post it up in the description. Yeah, I believe I'm gonna put it in the description at this point. It's just I have some repairs to do in this room. I just feel like this room is not ready, so I'll only be offering mobile services and I will only be offering it to individuals who are at least 4 years old. Anyone younger than that, I can't. And I will be doing client consultations via Zoom, via the iPhone. What's that app called? FaceTime. And I don't know why I couldn't get that out because I have it. But I'll be doing consultations via Zoom so that way I can see the conditions of the scalp. And if I see anything that I am a little on the fence about, that is questionable, I will recommend that you go see a dermatologist but prior to coming to your appointment. So that way you can treat that and we could move forward with your styling. Okay, that's just the number one thing. That's why I have to do a client consultation before any styling. So before you book a style with me, you will have to book the client consultation, the first time new client consultation, to ensure that we are on the same page. And then after that, you would be able to book your appointment. I don't want you to book an appointment and we can't hold that appointment because something's going on, or you lose your deposit because retainer. Let's be clear. Deposit, retainer, either one. They both serve similar but different purposes in the statement. But yes, so if you do have a condition going on, I would advise for you to seek medical professional advice and input before coming to an appointment and only being turned away because something's going on that needs to be treated. Okay? Because this process for him was not easy. Now, I know for a fact that his condition is not contagious, but there are situations out there, people have things going on, they're unaware of it, and it needs to be treated. And so, that is my word of advice for you. But this styling is coming to an end. I want to say thank you guys. If you guys actually were able to get to the very end of this, thank you for hanging out with me as I styled this kid's hair. Just for reference, this young gentleman is my nephew, okay? He is my nephew. He's like a brother to my son. They're 5 months apart, and I just enjoy having him with me. I love my nephew to death. So thank you, baby, for allowing your auntie to do your hair. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.